YouTube, what's up? 2020 Tantra on Amazon, info in the description. So, females are amps. Right now they are vamps. We're all being vampires right now. Well, not me, but a lot of people are being vampires right now. So, females are amplifiers. Like I said, you're pushed out of your mother's womb. The woman or the womb man should sit behind the male while you're breathing. While you do the breath sessions and you synchronize the breath, she sits behind him, he sits in front of her because he's the seer. She amplifies the vision. He's receiving the light and projecting it. She's amplifying the light and birthing it into physical 3D existence. So that is the alchemy of the womb man. So that's why you have more females that look at a seer than it amplifies the vision of the seer. So you have females that focus on something that amplifies that. You have females watching a sporting event, because if the man cares about that, then the female looks at it, then that amplifies it. Whatever the female looks at, it amplifies the light, because they're amps. When females are amps, they're the womb man. So we are receivers. We're the ones that receive the seed. The first womb is the prostate. So we're receiving the light, and then we project the light and we get the vision through the mimicking or it's the reciprocity of creation, of creating. So God creates to live through its creations, to enjoy through its creations, because that's the only way for God to see itself. God is you. That's the only way for God to see itself, is to create. So then the creation is they're not separate from each other. They work in tandem. So you got the receiving from the source, which is you. You receive the light from yourself as the male. The female amplifies that light, and then they both get the vision of how to conceive. So you're going to conceive on this 3D plane, or you're going to conceive in perfection. So once you're totally self-realized, you can mold any female to any. Once a male is totally self-realized, he can mold any soil. He can till any soil. It doesn't matter. The females do not. It really, honestly, does not matter. It's all about how self-realized the person is, and that's intelligence. How much she doesn't need. If she's breatharian, she doesn't need. So then, the closer she is to that, if she's raw vegan or just on liquids, then you can mold that soil a little bit better. Because women are just the reflections of us, because we are a reflection of the source. So we're a reflection, and they're a reflection of that reflection. So once we reach the point of zero resistance, of total love within us, then our reflection in female form, which is us, we will see that shows itself. Or you can continue to self-realize that the female can learn that template through you, and then she'll see as you see. But the male's vision been totally chopped. He's been totally spiritually decapitated, so the vision's been chopped. So it's where it's anywhere, and it's in that lizard level. So at this point, as far as getting to the North Pole, you need as many females as you can behind a seer or behind seers. You can have a group of seers that see the light, and then you have the females behind that lead from behind. Just like a woman is birthing her son. There's no separation in this. You shouldn't feel a hierarchy in this king or queen thing at all. However, it's oneness. It's no separation. If you don't feel separation, then she won't feel separation. And once you realize that everything is just light and that there's no lack ever, and that you just have to make sense of the light right now in this breath, to where you find that point of no separation, that God point of separation, total love point, then you get led a little bit more in quantum trajectory. Then you move a little bit more and more and more. And then those that want to evolve with you will go with that. And you have to release that if they don't want to evolve, so they can do what they got to do to evolve. And then you can do what you got to do to evolve. So that's just the process of evolution. So as the visions get more and more clear, you have the female amplifying the vision, leading from behind like a mother, and then the male being the father that leads. And then we have this expansion and contraction to we get this oneness between in creation, realizing creation, aligning with the creation, that's that movie that's constantly happening. And through conception, you have the separation. But if you create from within the North Pole, or from within that Eden state, or within that total no separation state, then you have total abundance, and you create all love. But we're creating from this point, this broken template. We're creating from the broken template. So as you receive the light and fill the void, you realize that everything that you look at is what you've already created, and that you're aligning with the original movie the more and more that you fill the void, gently and gently and gently. Because this seed that is you, the spine and brain that is you, is the copy or mirror reflection of God itself. If we say God has a form, we should say God is void of form. But it's like a hollow nine. If you could look at nine in a void sense, it's like a void sperm cell. Like, because you got the zero, which is a void with a tail. So it's continually folding into itself. And that is what the reflection of the source is, or however you want to look at it. The 0 and the 1, the binary code. That's the 9. That's the 9 with it. That's the void. That's the conception. That's the inceptor, receiving in male form, then conceiving in female form, and then you get the whole process. The whole process of that. So that's how you produce from that template of love, of complete perfection, of oneness, and then you can create the movie from there. Because it's every day you can get to alignment, and then you can see, that point of zero resistance, and then you can watch the movie. But that movie's always being played. That vision is always happening. So the more you get your body in alignment, then the more your life is in alignment with that, and then you just find yourself waking up in perfection, or what people are calling Eden, because you created on the inside. The more that you fill that void gently and push out, and it's what people call breatharianism, but it's just realizing that everything is light and that there's no separation, and that through the breath, through alchemy, you can convert anything. So through the process of creation, we align with the source, because that's how we see God. That's how God sees itself, through creation. So when we create, we see ourselves, we learn, and if we don't judge it, if we don't hate what we create, then that which we create continues. It's a copy of us, so it projects, because God's like basically realizing itself, projecting, taking all that experience just in one breath, because it creates lifetimes in each breath. You breathe in, you charge the seed energy, exhale. That's what God is doing. That's what the true you is doing in the fourth dimension, or from the center of this universe, from the center of the circle, from the North Pole. That you're breathing, inhaling, charging seed energy, exhaling lifetimes. Then you experience through all these lifetimes. If basically, if you have a problem in any lifetime or any imbalance, you go in there, you do your malware fixing, your damage control as a god. You fix it, then you inhale, you breathe out another universe, another more better template from a different perspective. Because every time you breathe, it should be new experience and new perspective every time. So it's a new, more perfect template. It's more perfect in the sense that it's imperfect, because it's constantly changing. Because God's an alchemist, and we're just a reflection, the physical reflection of it. God is you. There's no separation. So that's really all it is. So when you partake in the oneness and you partake in creation, then you can see God, because that's the only way for God to see itself, through creation, through music, through art, through babies, because that is a supreme intelligence. That is a high level of intelligence, God creating itself through physical form. So in that process, you're really aligning with the source. So if you get back to the source and create from the source, from the North Pole, by absorbing the light, making sense of it, getting rid of the old data, unlearning the old data, bringing the new data in, filling the void gently, and then you get the vision. And then as the void is filled with music and things like that, then you don't need these eyes to see. And then you see from here, then you see the room from here. And then when that void is filled, if you're full with light or breath or whatever it is, when music hits, then you can see from this place, and you see all the geometry in every breath. But see, I'm gonna just sound outlandish to a person that's like living from another place. That's like looking from here out of your body if you were from the root chakra. If you're from here, then you're looking from a more jaded place. It's more and more jaded. And this is all jaded. This is supreme intelligence, supreme light, supreme darkness, whatever you want to say, if you're looking from this place. And that can all happen quickly, because you're just getting the crud out, and then the light realizes itself within you, and then you have infinite potential to do whatever as a chameleon, because the lizard part of you can change colors at any time, can do anything. It's just that when the consciousness change, and the breath pattern change, and the firmaments change, and the consciousness season change, people get caught in the place that they were playing in. If you were playing and changing colors, wherever you were at, when the consciousness shifted, if you were playing and being big and being small, then when the firmament changes, where you gonna get stuck in that state of separation. So you be huge, but you don't fit into this firmament of 3D. So then you experience a greater sense of separation until you evolve until the consciousness season changes and the doors of heaven and hell open again. And then you go deeper into the center of the circle, and then you get smaller and smaller as far as form. But because it's about identification with the source, which is nothing. So you realize that no form can take all forms, and then you can experience then supreme intelligence. Then you see no separation. See, like if you see it from here, you can see all the geometry in every breath. But if you're looking from here, then life isn't a dream anymore. If you're seeing it from here, then you can see the lucidity in everything. Because this is the projector creating everything I'm seeing. This is the first eye that resides in that dimension. My body, my 3D body is not in total alignment with this yet. This is the process that y'all are watching. So, and that you're watching within yourself if you're watching this, because I am you. So, yeah, as far as the lizards and that and all that thing, from my what I'm feeling here as the Supreme Feminine, because that's what I am, the Cancerian, Supreme Feminine in the 3D, because I'm a masculine Cancer, that's the Supreme Feminine. The Supreme Masculine is a female Capricorn. So from my intuition is telling me is that the lizard lady that runs the world, or the reptilian, the one that is the immortal, the physical immortal on earth that has accrued and amassed all this wealth, is a female Capricorn that I will have to meet. I is God, so I have to meet that. You know what I mean? That's probably what's going to happen. It's probably, and from my perspective, it's probably a Congolese female. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm thinking it's a Congolese Capricorn female that is the one that has the data in her of physical immortality. That is the reptilian humanoid that contains that data. It's just that once that woman gets realized, then we can see each other. Because you know what I mean? But I have to realize myself, and then that can get amplified. Then the soil can be fertilized if the light is there. So anyway, that's really about it, man. Like I said, the lizard lady in general is the reptilian brainstem within you. So that's happening for everybody, internally and externally. So that's the lizard lady that regulates body language. So the body language is pain. That's one of the body languages. So it's a bunch of languages to the body, like it's a bunch of languages to the tongue that people can speak. It's a bunch of languages to the eyes that we call colors. Those are different languages. So pain is a language of the body. Body language is, that's completely ruled by the reptile. So that's why I have a problem with separation. That's why I can work with the devil in that sense, because I am God and I know that there's no separation, that the devil is just the end of my hand coming back at me. Like, it's no point in like being mad at an arm of God, like, because there's no separation. Like, I created it. I create the devils in my life because it's all coming from my template. Everything I see is what I created. So why would I get mad at myself? So, yeah. Anyway, whenever you synchronize with the stem, you get more crystallized. That's what people have been doing. Their family tree has fallen. All the lights have spread and scattered. They've intermingled with other people that have done the same with their trees. And all the crystals are all split. We're all crystals, God seeds or whatever you want to call it. They've all synchronized with the stem, so then they become more jaded, more pale, more separate, more refined, more needy. More I gotta do more conscious math being done, instead of realizing that you're an alchemist and that you can fill the void with the breath. Because again, need is lack of intelligence. That's lack of intelligence. Needing. Not needing means you're intelligent. So that's why the cat is more intelligent than the dog. So that's really about it. So don't get caught up in this virtual seed sucking, vision snatching grid. It's not separate from you. Everything is you. But once you realize that, nothing to be afraid of, and you can just cross that rainbow bridge. But yeah, keep your vision clear, keep breathing, and then you want to just be around the most intelligent light you can be around, because then it's less alchemy that needs to be done to fill the void. Because the more harmony you're around, it's easy to replicate. Because you breathe, it reminds you, you remind it, and then as you gradually take those steps into the center of the circle, the vision becomes more and more clear, and then you just live from a place of love. So 2020 Tantra on Amazon, that's the breadcrumb trail. 2020 Tantra on Amazon. Check out my man Chad with Good Life, Chad East on Instagram. All the info is in the description. I'm on the gram and all forms of social media. You can get all the books, all 34 books. I'm gonna come out with this 35th one. You can get them all for $100. 2 audio books. I'm gonna do a third one sometime soon here, and then you can consult with me for $50 per half hour or $100 per hour. I don't need the money. I don't need anything. So, but I'm not gonna do the alchemy for you for nothing. So, because if I get the $100, then I can give it to somebody that I can just give them so that they can have a bunch of raw juices so that they can evolve. At this point, I don't need anything. I could totally live off of music and breath and air and sunlight, just like a plant. So I need to be around plants that know themselves, like sequoia trees, redwood trees, ancient things that they haven't been destroyed, because things that know themselves can't be destroyed. So being around those things, they reverberate the true source and the copy of the initial source, and that it just reminds you, just like when you release oils and stuff like that into the air, and then you take it in and you feel the voids up here. You smell a void, you smell a sage oil, you feel a void up here. You feel a void down here with foods and stuff like that. Or a sound. Each one has a sound. You can feel these voids specifically and way more gently and way more intelligently than you've been doing. So it's all love. And then that's really about it. That's all I'm saying. I guess you guys can put the pieces together. I feel like more talking kind of interferes and puts a hierarchy thing, like I'm separate from you or something. There's no separation here. Even with the beast. It's just a mirror. I'm looking in the selfie thing now. It's no separation. It's the same thing. So 2020 Tantra on Amazon, info in the description. And yeah, you can consult with me, get the books. You can come fast. It's not fasting. You can just learn how to not need anything ever again. And that's about it.